Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. Well, you can see I got something in the bed of the truck. Facebook Marketplace strikes again. That's what you get for roaming around on Marketplace. We did a real good job on cost savings, and I want to go a little more in detail and talk to you about why we did this versus new. So come right back and we'll get into it. Hold it right there, let me pick up on it. Yeah. Caught my ring on the plastic, I couldn't get it. You got a tractor that moves up closer.
Been in the way until then.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. Okay, that wasn't too bad unloading. It was empty, so give me just a second. We'll get the tractor moved. Okay, guys, you can tell by how easy we moved it. It is empty. We'll start off. I've been looking for one of these for quite a while. You guys know I don't spend money just, willy-nilly. Matthew and I have been wanting a transfer tank for quite some time. I've been looking for them for a year, and really about 6 weeks I've been looking hard. Found one I really liked, good price, but it was in Virginia, 4.5 hour ride. So I was like, well, if there's one, there'll be another one. And there's a bunch of them. Some of them was overpriced. Some of them was the wrong style. Some of them didn't have the right size tank, or they didn't have the right size pump. And I was sitting around yesterday. Actually, it was Saturday night, about midnight. I was surfing Facebook Marketplace, and I found it. And I'm like, boy, it's a little higher than I wanted to pay, but it's exactly what I want. So I slept on it, and Sunday morning I was like, yeah, I think I'll do it. So I messaged the guy. And a couple hours later, he messaged me back, and I said, well, I'm interested in buying it. He said, well, I'll be available this afternoon. I said, that's fine. Just send me your address, and I can tell you what time I'll be there. So he sent me an address after lunch, and I punched in. It was like an hour, 20-minute ride, 72 miles. So beautiful ride up 64 to Hickory. And Matthew was having a fun day with Mordecai, so I asked Dad if he wanted to go. So me and Dad jumped in the truck and we was gone. We left about 3 o'clock, 2:30, something like that. Got back right after dark, but just an enjoyable trip. I enjoy buying stuff off Marketplace. I got to meet a nice young man that I'd never crossed paths with him if it wasn't for him selling something on Marketplace. So enjoyed that aspect of it. Now, why did I buy a used tank instead of just going to Tractor Supply and buying a new one? Because this is a better built Tractor Supply tank. It's the same pump and valve and filter nozzle that you buy at Tractor Supply. This is why I bought it, the financial aspect. I do not have to have everything brand new, okay? This tank is not hurt. There's not a dent in it. There's hardly a scratch on it. He had it sitting on a pallet just like this at his house, and he used it for storage. And he had one just like it in his truck. And the reason he wanted to get rid of it is he wanted one that sloped and he could have the tank and a toolbox in his truck. So he was happy to part with it, and I was happy to pay for it. Now, we don't normally talk too much about finances, but this is a teachable experience. I will tell you what this cost, because I just looked it up. Tractor Supply today, this tank is $899. Tractor Supply, the pump, and I'm not exactly sure if it comes with a nozzle. I have to go back and check. But the tank, the pump itself and the filter housing is $359. Okay, and you add that up, and then you add our state sales tax. That's $1,350 to buy that brand new. If that's your only option, that's your only option. Okay. The guy, he'd asked a little more, and I didn't bother him on price. We got up there and talked to him, and I said, "Well, what's your bottom dollar?" He said, "Well, I'll take $700." I said, "Okay, sold." Emptied it out, and we'll load it in the truck. So he plugged his little battery to it, had 20, 30 gallons in it, pumped it into the tank he had in his truck. We picked it up, loaded it up, and we left. So, like I told you, this thing cost $1,350 new with tax. I paid $700. So I saved $650 because my ego says I don't have to have everything brand new. Because what's Matthew going to do? He's going to bump it with a tractor, he's going to scuff it, going to drop it, you know. I mean, it's only new until you get home with it, and then it's no longer new. So some things you need to buy new, but you don't always have to, like that Kawasaki mule. I had a brand new one ordered 2021, 2020 when COVID hit, and I put my $500 deposit on it, waited a few months, and Kawasaki sent me an email, said, "Well, we're not going to make that model. You can either get the base model for $1,000 cheaper, or you can get the next model up for like $5,000. I said, "I'll take option 3. Send me my $500 back." And they did. And I found a nice lady up in Tennessee that had this, and she no longer needed it. She wanted her a hot rod pickup truck. So me and Matthew and Dad got the truck and trailer, and we drove up to Tennessee. And literally, I saved $10,000 and bought one with 150 miles on it. That's the way you save money, guys. You don't always have to have new. There wasn't a thing wrong with it. It's not new now. Look at it. It's dirty. It's scuffed. It's scratched. I've run it upside trees going through the woods. You know, spend your money wisely, and you'll have a better financial future. And that's what we try to do with everything around here. Now, we bought a new sawmill this year. And I bought a new sawmill because there was no good used mills available other than one. And he wanted more than I paid for a new one. Well, that made no sense. So we bought a new one. We'll have a video coming out on that here shortly, something different. But today's topic was, Facebook Marketplace strikes again, like always. But how do you save money? Spend your money wisely. Be willing to buy something that needs a little work, needs a little tinkering, or it's just used. This needs nothing. It needs absolutely nothing other than a battery hooked to it. And he actually run it with a Milwaukee battery. I got one on my card. I'm going to order a little adapter that you plug a 6 or 8 ohm Milwaukee battery in. And it's got 2 leads. We'll wire it right into that, plug your battery in, and your switch is here. Turn your switch on, it runs, you get done, turn it off. I'm overjoyed with it. We've used containers ever since we started, and I'm tired of using containers. So we're looking forward to be able to go once every month or so and get 100 gallons of fuel, and I can put some Stay-Bil, some cetane enhancer, whatever, in the tank, and we'll have it here readily available to use. Not to mention, we normally got 30, 40 gallons at a time, and it really wasn't worth the hassle to drive 20 minutes away to a store that sold off-road. Well, I called this morning, called 3 stores. One that's about 25 minutes away was 324, and I called one that's about 20 minutes away. That was $3.20 a gallon, and then I called one of our local stores. It's probably 15 minutes, and they were $2.94. Well, $2.94 from 20 is 24 cents. That's $24 savings on 100. Or if I went to the other store, it's $30 savings on 100 gallons. So another way to save money: buy it in bulk, and don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call and say, "Hey, what's your price on off-road today?" You know, I figured the Spinks store in South Carolina would be cheaper. Ended up the guy in North Carolina is cheaper. So as soon as we get this on a pallet, we're going to make it's sitting on a salt-treated pallet we made a long time ago, but I want a pallet that's got, 4x4 so we can stick forks in it real good. And it's got provision to bolt it down. We want it bolted down good. And once we get that built, probably turn it up and take the drain out just to see if anything needs to drain out the bottom. And we'll go fill it up. So what do you want to add there, Matthew? I mean, you're a marketplace whiz yourself.
Don't be in a hurry is the biggest thing.
Exactly.
You've been looking for weeks now for this?
Been wanting one for a year or so, but really been hard looking, like I say, for a few weeks. Every day, look at marketplace, see what's popping up. And I found a lot of them, just not within a driving range that I felt comfortable with. Now, I don't mind driving 4 hours to buy a piece of equipment, but I'm not going to drive 4 hours to buy a tank, okay? My time is worth something. But 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon is no big deal. Hour and a half up, hour and a half back. Me and Dad talked the whole time. It was enjoyable. So that's worth more than the trip, having time to communicate. Because he's busy, I'm busy, So we enjoyed the ride, enjoyed the trip together. But that's it, guys. Just wanted to show you, different way of being profitable. Because if I'd went to Tractor Supply and bought this, I'd had to wrote a check for $1,350. Math to me is pretty simple. $1,350 or $700. Well, that's a $650 profit that I made by just shopping smarter. And you can do that in your own neighborhood. There's lots of people buy this stuff. This guy, he technically didn't buy it new. He told me he bought it from his workplace. He had 2 of them. He bought it from them. They no longer needed them, so he probably got them cheap. He made a little money. But the original purchaser lost a lot. And that happens on new cars, new pieces of equipment, new sawmills, everything. If you're the original owner, you're going to take the bulk of the depreciation. This tank, Matthew and I can keep it for 4 or 5 years, and we won't hurt it because it'll sit on a pallet and it'll sit over there in the shed. And the only time it gets moved is when we go fill it up. It'll still be worth pretty close to what I paid for it, because they have a bottom. And if you take care of it, don't beat it up, don't let it get rusty, don't leave it out in the rain. 3 or 4 years, it's probably still going to be worth $700, because these prices are not going to get cheaper. Tractor Supply is probably going to increase their price eventually. So instead of a $1,350 new, it might be a $1,500 new. So that's going to do it. I hope you found some value in that, guys. Schools don't always teach good economics. They definitely don't teach business economics. I was always told business needs to be in debt. Well, they're wrong. Business does not have to be or need to be in debt. Yes, business needs to spend money. You need to purchase things to offset your tax liability, but you don't have to do it with borrowed money. You can do it with earned income. And we do that, I couldn't do it with sawmill because it was more than we had saved up, but we're doing our best to make that bill go away, because I dislike paying the bank a user fee, absorbent user fee for their money. So that'll help you in your business, it'll help you in your personal life. Try to save up some money and then go get what you want, instead of wanting something and going borrowing somebody else's money to pay for it. There's nothing wrong with you owning a Harley, but you should never borrow money to own a Harley. If you can't pay for it, you probably don't need it. I feel the same way about a boat, an RV, Kawasaki mule. If you can't pay for that as a toy, you probably don't need it. Save your money up, and when you get ready to buy, it feels a whole lot better to go and walk home with it, and you own it, not you in the bank. So that's your tip of the day. Spend your money wisely, try to stay out of debt. Guys, as always, appreciate you watching. Big shout out to Matthew and Solomon, as always, doing these videos. I couldn't do it without them. If you want a hat, check out beardylumbernc.com. We got hats for sale. Big shout out, as always, to Wood Mizer. We appreciate them. You get a chance, check out my buddy up McGrady, North Carolina, Chuck and Sandra at Shearton Park Farms. I watched a couple of his videos yesterday. I just say you need to watch him. You'd enjoy it. He's just a regular human like the rest of us trying to get by. He's into the sustainable farming, non-pesticide, non-GMO type stuff. He sells cows, chickens, and some pork. And if you're at all into that, you'll enjoy it, as well as he runs the Wood Mizer. He's in the middle of building a timber frame. So give him a shout out. Tell me Beard and Lumber told you to come see him. That's going to do it, guys. We appreciate it. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. If not, we'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.